The following segment is sponsored by Daniel A. White and Associates. It does not necessarily reflect the views of WDEL or Forever Media.
The Rick Jensen Show on 101.7 FM, 1150 AM, WDEL, and streaming to your smart speaker and mobile device.
And on the phone right now from Dan White and Associates, financial planners specializing in retirement income, is Dan Simon in the Middletown office. Hey, Dan, how are you, buddy?
Good, Rick. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year as well. And in your line of business, as with many kind of different industries, a new year means new things to learn, new regulations, and new annoyances.
You got it. New laws. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the new Roth provisions that are going into effect this year.
Yeah.
2024. So when the ball dropped on New Year's Eve, there was legislation from Secure Act 2.0 that kicked in, and it really applies to two things. Specifically, 529, college savings retirement plans to Roth IRA rollovers, and then also, the fact that there's no RMDs on Roth 401ks, going forward now, which is a huge distinction. But the 529 to Roth IRAs, there's quite a bit more complexity to it. Because as you know, the Section 529 plan allows, whether it's a grandparent, a parent, to save for their child's education, grow the money tax deferred. The problem was if the child didn't go to college or use the money for higher education, then the earnings on those funds ended up being taxable and could potentially even be subject to additional penalties. So what they put into law now is that, for those plans that aren't used, they can be rolled over into a 529 plan into a Roth IRA rather, for that beneficiary. So added more flexibility, in my opinion, is always a good thing there, but there are quite a bit of stipulations pertaining to those rollovers that people really should be made aware of.
Well, let's get into that a little bit because, you're saving for your kid or grandkid's education. 529 sounds like a great deal. But you're putting money into that after tax already, aren't you?
You are putting it in after tax. Some states will provide you with a tax deduction on state income tax. I know in Pennsylvania, where I live, that is a benefit of the 529 plan. I don't know if that applies to every state though. But you are putting in on a federal after tax basis.
Okay, so big difference then, because if you just put into a Roth IRA, you don't get any of that tax break. But on the 529, then you got to follow the rules for education. Otherwise, what, you got to pay back those taxes? You get hit with penalties?
Correct. Yep. So with the new law and the ability to roll unused funds over into a Roth IRA for the beneficiary of the account, a child in this example, they're now allowing a maximum rollover of $35,000 into a Roth IRA. It's a lifetime maximum. It appears to apply only to one beneficiary at this point. These laws tend to change over time. But the Roth IRA must be in the name of the 529 beneficiary and not the parent or the 529 owner.
Well, that's Dan, that's good for 1 year of college.
I'm sitting there reading that. I've got three young ones, and I can only imagine what higher education is going to cost for them in, 12, 14 years. And, that might be good for a semester of college.
Yeah, I know, right? But when the government makes these rules, the government wants your money. They don't want their money. They want your money. They decide how much of your money is their money, and they want your money, and they can call it their money. So that's why they make these rules, so they can get your money. And I'm glad that you guys study this all the time because I find it really obnoxious, annoying, and sometimes angering.
Yes, it is.
I know.
So a few more specifics, right? The 529 plan has to have been open for more than 15 years to be able to do a rollover.
Oh,
right?
God. Oh, man.
Yeah. So,
15.
if you got
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm laughing at them, not at you. You know that. It's like, oh, my God, what a weasel deal.
I'm through this laughing myself.
God, what a weasel deal.
Yeah. So what else? If the beneficiary is contributing to a Roth IRA themselves, 7,000 is the limit. They can't convert over any of the 529 plan into that. But if they do, it takes up some of that $7,000 amount. Let's see, what else do we got here? The $35,000 can't be done at once. It's got to be done over a number of different years.
Years?
Yes, years.
So wait, stop. You gotta be putting in for the kids' college for 15 years, and And heck, they could be going to college already. What if you start when they were 4 years old? They're already in. So anyway, you got to start 15 years, and you can't do it all at once. You have to do it over a number of more years. Oh, come on. They did this. So they could pretend that they're doing something good for people, and then they hose you, because if your kid is like 15 years old and you've been putting money into this thing for 15 years, now you can roll this thing over, avoid all the other problems. Maybe the kid wants to go to some alternative education that's not covered in the 529 plan. And you're just going to say, okay, now you have to roll it over between now and they're 30 years old. Mm-hmm. Dude, you know what? That's why I'm so glad I don't do what you do, because and I did it for 4 years. But
I'm reading through it, thinking it's not going to apply to too many people, but people should know.
Yeah.
Because again, if somebody's starting off early, saving for their kids' education, which I encourage everyone to do that has young kids, because we all know the cost of education just goes up and up and up. Knowing what they have the ability to do with the 529, if the child becomes a sports star or something like that, they've got the ability to roll that money into the Roth. What's really the big provision that's really going to go into change that will affect more people than not is the fact that not only Roth IRAs but Roth funds inside of a 401k. They do not have to take required minimum distributions. So the law used to state that if you had funds inside of a 401k that were Roth funds, you did have to take an RMD, required minimum distribution, from those accounts. But they've finally gotten with the times and said that doesn't make sense. So Roth 401k holders are no longer subject to the RMD requirement. But keep in mind, beneficiaries of both inherited Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks will still be subject to required minimum distribution. So, obviously some changes coming down the pipeline, but, always good to stay on top of everything that's going on out there.
All right, hang on, folks. It's Dan Simon with Dan White and Associates, longtime financial planners. In fact, I'm a client, and I'm a happy camper. And poor Dan, when we talk, yes, oh my God, here's Jensen. He's gonna start raging again, So, and I guess I am, but I'm gonna do it in the form of a question. So I'm listening to what you're saying about the new federal law regarding rolling from a 529 plan into a Roth IRA. And even though I know people who use the Roth IRA to fund a kid's college because they were worried about all the restrictions in a 529 plan, if they put it into a Roth IRA, they can use it any way they want. No big deal. I'm wondering if the idea here, and you tell me if I'm hearing this properly or not, is, okay, we're going to presume they want to roll it into a Roth IRA because the kid's not going to college, and they'll just convert this to some kind of retirement plan. Do you think that might be the thinking behind this?
Yes. Yeah, I do see it as a viable solution. The problem that I see with just using a Roth IRA to fund a child's education is there's income thresholds as to when you're priced out of putting money into a Roth. There's contribution limits. So you've got a little bit more flexibility, in my opinion, with the 529. If you know that child's likely going to end up in some type of higher education facility when you can use the funds. But now if they don't, there's some flexibility which allows you to get the money out of those plans and quite frankly, get it over to the child as opposed to keep it in your name, which has some benefits as well. And
that's the conversion to the Roth, or is it something else too?
That's the conversion from the 529 to the Roth.
All right. So, yeah, because you never know. You want to plan for the kid's college education. Next thing you know is that I just want to go to beauty school. And that's a fraction of the cost. So, okay, fine. Appreciate that. You guys, like I said, you have to read some of the most annoying and study and learn some of the most annoying policies ever. But you keep on top of things, and I appreciate you for that. Anything else?
That's it. A happy and healthy New Year to you, Rick.
You too. Now, of course, Dan White himself has a radio program on Sundays at 7 a.m. here on 101.7 FM at 11:50 a.m. WDEL, streaming live at WDEL.com. It's called On the Money, Sunday mornings at 7 a.m., right?
You got it.
All right,
and
pal.
I tried to get ahead of this, so I knew the topic, and I still couldn't find out what it was. But
no. You don't have to worry about it. See, I gave you the out that's just saying right. All you got to say is right. We don't have to say anything more.
You got it.
That way I figure. And by the way, folks, this is show prep live on the air, okay? This is our show prep live on the air because Dan's busy with a lot of appointments. So if I just say, like, right, you go, right. Okay. Otherwise, you could just say what the topic is. And I know you guys are busy.
How much snow are we getting this weekend, Rick?
Well, we'll be finding out from WDEL News, I said, because it's right there on my script about what's coming up on the news here. Heck, if I know. Snow shovel, we'll see. You know?
Right.
Remember, so the thing is, we're supposed to get some more snow this year. That's what the Old Farmer's Almanac has said, as other weather forecasters as well, because El Niño's back as opposed to 3 years of La Niña. And that means that it could push some snow down here. But we usually don't get the kind of snow they get in New England anyway.
No.
I know.
Certainly not.
All right, man. Well, I hope you got a sled. We'll see how it works. Take care.
All right, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
By the way, you can call Dan at 888-690-8820, 888-690-8820, and talk to him as well. Won't charge you anything for that.